How's it going out there, esports world, and welcome to BossFight TV's The Reload, episode number 15. 1-5. On our way to 20, man. Today we will be covering the entire world of esports, going from March 6th through the 13th. And let us tell you, there was some crazy stuff going on. Crazy enough to screw my sleep schedule up for an entire week.
Yes.
How about you, Mike? How's your sleep schedule going on?
You know what? You talk about an entire week. I was first on German time, then I was on Amsterdam time, then I lost an hour because of daylight savings time.
Not that far away though.
And now I'm
What's the difference between?
One, they speak with a funnier accent. I think that's it. Like that's the only difference. Time zone's the same. You just speak different.
But what does that have to do with?
I don't know.
Never mind. Anyways, so we had the IEM World Championships as well as the Reflex GT. Those are the two big tournaments that happened this weekend, as well as some other small ones here and there that we'll be talking about as well. So as always, we're going to open our episode and talk about our awesome sponsors, iHeartEsports. Again, if you haven't heard about them before, go check them out at iHeartEsports.com or at iHeartEsports on Twitter. And pretty much they sell some really cool stickers. iHeart Esports, good game, micro your macro. They have their whole crazy player sticker set that they've been putting out for like the last couple months or so. So be on the lookout as they are releasing more and more stickers day by day. And as always, if you listen to the episode, there will be a secret code somewhere hidden in the episode that will let you know what it is. And if you... Are you looking for it?
Not down there.
I don't think it's down there.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure it's not down there. But you're going to have to follow at BossFight TV and iHeart Esports and tweet us that code if you want to win.
I'll tell you what, this is probably the best week to win because you know what? If you're going to MLG Columbus, a lot of those players will actually be there.
Indeed.
You can get that.
Get them signed. What was that? You wanted Don Regu? Was that your pride and joy one?
Don Regu. I want a MC. I want a bomber.
Mike's going to be there.
I'm going to get a whole bunch. I'll bring my Pokemon binder with me that I keep them all in. We can trade.
He'll be ready to trade.
Yeah.
Like old school Pokemans.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Anyways... So we also wanted to let you guys know on Sunday we were going to interview TFA Hornet. We do want to apologize. He had a family issue that he had to take care of. So unfortunately we did not get to do that interview with him. But this Sunday we will be sitting down with iHeart Esports' very own Jason Tugman.
Oh, wow.
So if you don't know who he is, you can follow him at Jason Tugman on Twitter. Or you can check out, he pretty much kind of runs the iHeart Esports site and blog. And he also does his own show where he kind of talks about esports production value. And he takes shows like ours, which the first episode that he ever did was on BossFight TV. And he'll go over, hey, like, what are you doing wrong? What are you doing right? He's a really helpful guy. And if you're out there and you're doing your own show or anything like that, like, seriously,
just send him
a tweet or an email or anything like that. And he's a pretty good guy to talk to. So we'll be talking to him on Sunday, live as always, 8 p.m. Eastern time. And that's going to be, you can either click live up on the top of the website at bossfight.tv or go to twitch.tv/bossfighttv. A lot of TVs in there.
A lot of TVs.
A lot of TVs.
You know what? I have to be honest. There'll probably be another opportunity to win some iHeart Esports stickers.
Probably on that show.
During that opportunity.
Seeing as Jason is there.
Maybe some secret announcements. Maybe some new acquisitions.
I mean, we'll see what happens.
I'm not releasing anything.
I don't know. Golden Boy gave us some
Golden Boy was like, you know what? Let's do this. Real talk.
Do live. But as Mike mentioned before, we are going to be at MLG Columbus, and that is about 8 or 9 days away. So it's coming up. If you are a fan of BossFight TV, look for us because we're going to be there all 3 days. We're going to be in the audience. We're going to be doing interviews. We're going to have some goodies to give away. Some goodies?
Goodies.
Not going to tell you what they are.
Everybody likes
But if
goodies.
you come up and you find us, we'll give you a goodie.
No secret code for that. Just come up and just say hey.
I mean, Mike takes hugs, and
I give hugs too.
He gives hugs.
It's a two-way avenue over here.
I was going to say something else.
You know what's funny is at the end of every episode we high five. I initially wanted to hug, but apparently that's too awkward an ending for a show.
I mean, I would hug you, but that's just weird.
Well,
Anyways. Mike, free hugs. So, Mike, what was... Actually, I don't want to say what was the most hyped up event, because there was 2 big hyped up events. What was the first event that we had this week? Well, I wouldn't even say weekend. This week.
This entire week. Well, if you've been following it all this season, this is season 6 of ESL's Intel Extreme Masters Series. And I have to say, after last year, everybody knows, well, at least I'll tell you right now. If you didn't know, if you didn't follow last year, League of Legends had a breakout of a grand final.
Right.
And because of that, ESL actually kind of structured the way they did their grand finals. So this season, they did Counter-Strike 1.6, League of Legends, as well as StarCraft 2.
Right.
Last year, because League of Legends got so many viewers and did so well, they got bumped to the final spot. So it went Counter-Strike 1.6, then StarCraft 2 finals, then League of Legends grand finals. But the landscape got shook up once again.
It was crazy.
Josh, did you watch the Counter-Strike 1.6 finals?
I did.
I know.
We were both in there. We were watching. I'm going to let you know right now that if you have never watched Counter-Strike before 1.6 on a professional level, you need to go back. I know we say this a lot. I know we say, oh, you need to go back and watch the VODs. I'm not lying to you right now. You need to check that stuff out. I almost said something else, but you need to check that stuff out.
I have to be honest, though, because even though this grand final started at 3 a.m. in the morning, you probably may have seen it because there were over, collectively, between all of these streams, internationally, American, German, didn't matter, over 70,000 people.
A lot of people.
70,000 people turned in live to watch the Counter-Strike 1.6 grand final.
That's just Counter-Strike.
That's just Counter-Strike. And you know what? It kind of dropped off when StarCraft 2 started up. I'm not saying anything about StarCraft 2.
Whoa.
I'm just saying that it's funny that last year or last season,
Right.
League of Legends took the spotlight. Now it looks like Counter-Strike may be the number 1 spot.
I don't know.
We'll have to see what
We'll
happens
see what happens.
next season with Go coming out.
I know.
Getting all high pitched
It'll be
voice that
pretty
we
sweet.
get.
Yep.
Yeah.
Didn't we do this last episode?
I think so. But
I don't know what it
anyway,
was about.
anyway,
But, you know.
anyway, let's go ahead. Let's get right into the series because there are a lot of storylines going on in this
Right.
series. So let's just go ahead and break it down. You can see the brackets here. I specifically want to mention. I want to shout out. This is to Corey Dunn. I am sorry. I apologize because we were in Skype. I just messaged him. And if you see there in the semifinals, you have it's ESC versus SK, and then Navi as well in the other match. And I was like, oh, hey, I was like to Corey Dunn on Skype. I'm like, hey, Navi SK grand finals. He's like, no, ESC, they're taking it. And he predicted it from the very beginning of the tournament, before it even started, from day one. Before the matches went live, he said ESC is taking it.
You weren't having that, were you, Mike?
I let my emotions get in the way.
So how'd that work out for you?
Well, I think I owe Corey Dunn like $1 or something. I at least owe him. I owe him this. Corey Dunn, you were right. I was wrong.
You win.
You are the voice of Counter-Strike. You are the godfather of Counter-Strike. And I was an idiot to try and question you.
I bet he wished he put money on that.
Yeah, probably.
He probably would have threw down on that.
Well, I've learned my lesson.
Good.
I know better.
Good.
But anyway, getting into that, we actually had the grand finals was ESC Gaming versus Navi, which if you know anything about ESL, both of those teams have actually been pretty dominant for the last couple of seasons. Navi was actually coming in. This was their 3rd grand final in a row. They had won the previous 2 events, so they could have got the hat trick in this event. Indeed. If they had won, they would have won 3 consecutive titles.
And then wasn't it, I think it was 3 IEM, or was it 2 that they could have secured, Navi?
You mean
the World Championships?
World Championships?
Yeah.
This would have been their 3rd consecutive.
Third consecutive.
Third consecutive. As well, ESC is actually, they had previous to this event been in 3 grand finals, but had only once taken the title. So they both came in, they played each other, and like I said, over 70,000 people watching live, people going off in the stream. It's crazy. As great as those matches were, ESC took it in 2 games.
Indeed.
It did not go. It was over relatively fast. And I'm not complaining. They were great matches to start with. But ESC, hats off. two titles and 4 grand finals appearances, and stopping Navi from getting that third. It was amazing. The award ceremony was very, very passionate,
emotional.
and you could just tell everybody was excited.
Did you tear up?
I didn't tear up.
Are you sure?
No.
Okay.
I didn't tear up. I am now, though. But also for ESC, they actually scored the MVP award, which we'll talk about this a little bit later. But the MVP award actually went to Pasha, who was from ESC, and it was just called the Most Valuable Player Award. They gave out orange hoodies, and so he got that, and he's lifting the trophy, and everybody was really happy. And Counter-Strike 1.6, or Counter-Strike in general, has big things ahead of it. So we will have to wait and see how ESL responds next season.
Indeed, it should be exciting. Not gonna lie.
But there were some other games going on too.
There were.
I mean, that was just the first game.
That was just Counter-Strike. So obviously we have StarCraft 2. StarCraft 2. As always at the ESL. Honestly, I'm gonna be totally honest with you here. I mean, I know this is the World Championship, so it's to be expected. This was probably one of the best lineups that I've seen in the playoff brackets ever. Ever. Now, I would have liked to see some more foreign players. It was a little Korean heavy going into the playoff brackets at least. But when you look at the Korean talent in there, it was some starstruck craziness going on there. So going into the tournament, obviously MMA is kind of like the favored. Like, I mean, I don't want to go so as far to say he's the best StarCraft player in the world, but he's definitely up there. And he dominated his group, not dropping a single game, going 10-0. That's games, not he went 5-0 in the group, but 10-0 game wise. The players, we're gonna bring up the brackets. The players who made it out of group stage were MMA, Zinio, Supernova, Elfie, JYP, Puma, MC, Dark Force, Violet, Killer, Hasuabs, and Feast. And out of all those names, you can definitely see that there are a lot of Koreans in there, as always. Unfortunately, Hasuabs and Dark Force, 2 out of the 3 foreigners, were knocked out in round 1, but Feast was not going to give up without a fight. So Feast ended up making it all the way to the semifinals, and he lost going into the 3rd place match. And surprisingly, MMA was also knocked out by Puma 3-1. So going down to the 3rd place match with MMA and Feast, I'm not going to lie, it was pretty brutal. Pretty brutal. MMA kind of my term. I'm gonna pull out a term here that I don't think I've ever used.
Oh no!
I don't think I've ever used it.
Kids cover the ears.
MMA raffle stomped.
Oh no!
Feast. Okay, like I had to come up with my own term. Like it was like, no offense, but Feast was not prepared. He had no idea what he was doing. It almost felt like watching a Grandmaster player fight a bronze player.
While that may have been the case, you were rooting for Feast.
I was.
No, you were rooting.
You were in there. You were in the Skype. You were in the Skype call. I was rooting for Feast the whole way through. But I actually kind of wanted like Damaga to be in there, but he didn't make it and all that stuff. But anyways, going on to the finals, we have MC winning 3-2. And if you haven't seen the finals, and you don't necessarily want to watch all the replays and stuff, there's a game-by-game analysis on BossFight.tv on the front page. It should still be up there on the ticker because it just happened a couple days ago. So go check it out. I'm not going to bore you with going over a game-by-game right now because it would be pretty ridiculous. So congrats to MC. When he won, though, it was funny. He kind of turned he walked up, and then he turned around and just grabbed the trophy, like before anyone even gave it to him. And he's just going around like, yeah, trophy. Yeah. And there was an actual, MC is actually playing for SK now if you have been following eSports news. And he did an interview with them, and he's like, well, the trophy was right there, so I just grabbed it.
I mean, it was his at that time. He won. I mean, true. It was his.
True. But, not waiting for no ceremony. Mm-hmm. None of that stuff.
Oh.
None of that stuff. So, congratulations to MC. Going to the other big superstar game.
Well, wait.
Whoa.
Who was they didn't call it the MVP of StarCraft. They did for each game, for each title, they allowed the fans at home to vote for a most valuable player. So for Counter-Strike, it was the MVP, most valuable player. What was it for StarCraft that the fans got to vote on? The biggest nerd baller award?
That's, talking about nerd ballers and nerd farmers and all this stuff, that's kind of like the general whatever. So
And that was Feast that won
Yes,
that. It was the
indeed.
fans voted on Feast, even though MC sent out a tweet saying, I need your help. Vote for me.
Hey, man, I'm telling you, everyone, first off, I mean, it is an international tournament, but being held like right there in Germany, like, come on, everyone wanted, you know, a foreigner to win. They wanted someone from Europe. They didn't, you know, but hey, you know, Feast, sick nerd baller, even though he kind of did a little poopy versus.
I have to say, I think I'm bringing it up because I'm disgruntled that Counter-Strike is just the most valuable player. Like, we don't really, like, there's no
Sick, awesome
Right,
name.
like-
What would you call it, Mike?
top opper
What, top?
or, like,
No,
America's Next top opper.
I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't like that gun.
Well, of course, you don't like it.
I don't like that gun.
Whatever.
You don't have
figure
like
it
a.
out.
You don't have a, like a witty name for it.
I thought top opper was pretty good.
No.
I don't even know if Pasha really opped. It was Zeus and Zeus.
I'm fishing for a code, Mike, and you're not giving me
We'll
one.
bring one up later. Don't put all this pressure on me. Jeez.
Anyways, going on a League of Legends tournament, it was pretty interesting to say the least. Because of watching all the StarCraft, and I actually watched a lot of Counter-Strike as well, I did not get to watch a lot of the games. But going into the brackets, we have CLG and Against All Authority ended up winning round 1 to meet Moscow 5 and Dignatas respectively, who ended up winning their matches, Dignatas and Moscow 5, to find their place in the finals. So they had an easy route. I'm not gonna lie, it was pretty easy. The finals were pretty intense. There were some really pivotal points in the battles that kind of, I mean, obviously with League of Legends, one second you're way ahead, and then the next second, it's like game 1. There was actually a really sick ace that was pulled right before Moscow 5 won the game, and it pretty much just blew it into their favor. Like, they got the ace, they rolled down center, took out the inhibitor, and it was just game over from there. So, you know, if you haven't played League of Legends before, all it takes is one ace, which is killing the entire enemy team, obviously, because, you know, once you're level 18, your spawn time is huge. So overall, Moscow 5 ended up winning 2-0 at the end. So congratulations to them. They were pretty up there in the favorites. I personally was rooting for CLG, but, you know, what can I say?
I was rooting for Solo Mid and Dignitas.
Yeah.
Actually,
I do like Solo Mid
two
too.
heavily favored American teams.
What can I say, man? But, you know, CLG, Team House, OP.
Yeah, that's
all I'm
true.
gonna say. Anyways, so do you have the MVP for League of Legends, Mike?
I know the name of it. I don't have it written down.
Well,
it was the
good job.
I Carried Big Award,
I carried big award.
which I believe it
You know what it
was.
was.
Oh no! Wait! It was.
Sorry, our
from-
notes don't have these in here. Mike that wrote his notes down before it started.
from Dignitas, Royjoy, or Roy. Hold on, while we look this up. This might be one of those opportunities to
Mike,
bet $1.
Mike, do your thing. Go on a rant.
Go on a rant. How about those video games? How about eSports and all those?
You're killing me, dude.
You don't pressure a rant. You rant when you got a rant. How about people putting you on the spot?
Boy, you're right.
Royjoy?
Voy boy.
Voy boy.
Voy
That's-
boy.
I could see it.
Dignitas.
From
I
Dignitas.
carried big.
I carried big award.
Woo! Dodge that bullet. Oh, should that be our code? Take better notes.
Yeah, that'll. Yeah,
Better notes.
maybe I'll do that
Should that be the code?
next time.
Or should we continue on? And
I think
concept
continue
color?
on.
All
Maybe
right,
we'll come
continue on.
back.
My bad, guys. My bad.
Well, my bad. I took the notes. I'm the one
Well.
who specifically talked about all the MVPs.
Yeah.
and-
Personally, I was all like, "Hey, let's just do that." Mike's like, "No,
No,
we're gonna
the
do
MVP is
Gotta do 'em.
important.
Sick nerd baller." Anyways,
All that challenge. we
congratulations, Moscow 5. Moving
Yeah.
on to the other big tournament going on out there, which is the Reflex GT 8.
got- Yeah.
Modern Warfare 3 Xbox. We talked about Modern Warfare 3 the other week, and that was the PlayStation version.
Mm-hmm.
So going back to the favorite tournament, what is going on with the Reflex GT, Mike?
Well,
An A spec.
if you do you want to speak about? Do you want?
All right, first off, this is the funniest thing ever, okay? Because, you know, when you look at some of these people, you're like, okay, obviously A-Spec is not like, you know, Tasteless Artosis, you know, big, you know. They don't have a million gazillion people. What?
He isn't here.
He isn't here? I mean, he is with me. But what I'm saying is, it's crazy that, so he's driving to the tournament, he tweets out and he goes, hey, on the morning commute to Reflex GT, and he took a picture of him just driving. He's just like driving, there's a picture. And I tweeted back at him, I was like, do a barrel roll. And literally like 10 seconds later, he took the phone and like turned it sideways, and he's like, so we were tweeting back and forth all weekend and, you know, sending pictures back and forth. So not gonna lie, you cracked me up, man.
Yeah.
That's why he's my new favorite caster. Just saying.
A-Spec is amazing, but I'll tell you what else is amazing. Not only A-Spec and the personality and everything he brings to the Reflex GT, but then also Chaos TV, who are in charge of the production. Amazing job, as always. Matter of fact, have a new studio.
It's pretty
that they've
sick.
been working on.
I'm not gonna lie.
They have a interview couch with a discotheque floor.
I'm jealous.
Built in.
I'm jealous of them.
And then also for the for everybody helping run the Reflex GT, because it's an amazing tournament series. Although I will say that this one threw me for a loop, because they actually, for the first time ever, did a triple elimination bracket.
Don't even get me started.
So you had a winner's bracket, a loser's bracket,
and a middle bracket,
which was in the middle. So that the first day I was following everything and it was okay, and then the second day I kind of got lost there for a second, but it was okay. We regrouped.
You got this.
I got this.
You got this.
So let's go to the top three who top three placed at Reflex GT Modern Warfare 3 Xbox 360 4v4 tournament, because you got to get all those specifics in there, otherwise it doesn't make any sense. So obviously heavy favorite, as you can see, number 1 Apex Pro.
Boom.
Actually earned their spot into the grand finals without losing a single map.
Yes, I want to say that in the beginning I was rooting for them to win the whole thing, but what happened? They actually ended up meeting Franco Dragons actually in the grand finals, which F Dragons actually ended up going through that middle bracket and through the losers bracket to actually come back up.
They kind of did a swooping motion to come up, and they actually took 2 maps.
Indeed.
Off of Apex Pro.
And then once they won that first map, I switched sides, and I was
like,
yes!
You were like, yes, let's do this.
Let's win.
I mean,
they actually brought it to the point where, you know, all they had to do was win, what was it, 2 to win Apex, but they brought it to the best of 8.
Well, and here's what's funny with that triple elimination bracket. They technically,
it was so weird.
Apex came in up 2-0.
Right.
So that was their first series. So they had won, you know, best 2 out of 3. This one was a best out of 9. And so if they had beat them, they would have extended the series to best of 11.
Mother of God.
Is at least how I interpreted it and read the brackets. But anyway, we have that. And as I mentioned before, the actual Dragons met Western Wolves in the lower bracket. So they ended up actually taking third. And so this was, once again, this is actually the last event scheduled currently for the Reflex GT. So I don't know if their season is over or if they just haven't confirmed anything else.
Right.
But if you've got that itch for competitive console European tournaments, we actually have the EGL. It's coming up in April 7th and April 7th and 8th. EGL is actually in Blackpool, England, and a lot of the top teams will be out there competing, which brings me to an interesting point. Apex, talking about how they're one of the top teams, actually just acquired I'm going to flat out say it, the best North American Counter-Strike team.
One of the best.
I
guess they're pretty good.
Who
was that, Mike?
You ever heard of these Optic kids?
I've never heard of them before.
Skunk Guy and Rambone and I don't know, all these kids.
You mean Rambo?
Playing. Yeah, I just said Rambo. Anyway.
I'm pretty sure you...
Anyway, now Optic... that Optic lineup is now actually acquired by Apex. They will be Apex North America. They're already confirmed to be playing at the NGL, and there may be some rumors about some other North American teams making the flight over
out there
across the ocean. So we'll have to wait and see what happens.
So we might have our very own North American team competing over in Europe, like a boss. I like it.
That's what the Call of Duty needs. Not just the console, because they're also doing like Halo and other. This is a bigger event.
I think that's what console needs. Period.
It's just more
because you look at the PC
flavor.
side of things, and there are a lot of international tournaments where PC people come from all over the place. Like I feel like console players, they kind of just around where they live. They congregate and they just. Hey, that's just me.
Yep,
that's what we need.
So once again, big props to not only the Reflex GT, but Chaos TV as well, who has all the VODs up, and last but not least, A-Spec. fantastic job.
And
Can't
Rel.
wait for their next event. Oh, and Rel. Yeah.
That guy.
Good job, Rel. Rel's
Throwing
a
up
trooper.
and-
He didn't throw up this time. He did not throw
I
up
know.
this time.
A-Spec tried.
Big props
He
to
tried.
Rel.
But
Anyways.
moving right along
So
to
what's-
the rest of the news.
So we've talked about, let's see, ESL was in the one spot.
Right.
The Reflex GT was in the second spot. What's in the third spot?
StarCraft in general.
StarCraft in general.
In general.
So
The rest of
StarCraft 2,
It's
which
not
is
even in
normally
top.
the one spot.
Although it was in the IEM,
Yeah,
so
was in
technically it was
IEM.
first.
It's shared, though. It was in there with everything else.
Mike,
StarCraft 2
as much
news.
as you hate StarCraft, I'm sorry.
I don't hate it.
I know.
There's a
You-
lot of other stuff
You
that
like
I...
other things.
I
It's not a taste you've acquired yet.
Yes.
To this day, Mike's like, I don't know what's going on.
I just...
They're dropping stuff in the guy's face.
Golden Boy said it best. The blue guys are killing the red guys.
Oh,
And-
man. What is it? I can't remember who. It was someone from MLG. They were
I
like,
think it was
don't-
Adam Apicella.
He's
Yeah.
like, I don't know what's going on, but the bugs are fighting the spaceman.
The spaceman,
And,
and everybody's dying. Everything's dying.
oh, that guy's building some buildings.
Mm.
Anyways, regardless. Going on, StarCraft 2 news. The GSL right now is kind of in this lull because Code S is complete. You have some up and down matches going on. Basically, they're preparing for Season 2 Code S. So the first two groups have complete, or the first group has completed. No, two groups have completed. We have Squirtle and Bong Bong won their group, and Idra and Inca win. So there's 6 more spots that they need to fill. Also, the top players from Code A are going to be seeded into Code S, and then there's 2 more spots as well that players were seeded directly in, and somebody is back by the name of Naniwa. So Pro Brush McGee is back.
He just went straight in.
He's in.
He didn't have to play.
Code S. He didn't go into up and down or anything. I don't know. There's probably an explanation somewhere on GOM TV, but he's back. So it'll be interesting to see how he fares in it. So if you are interested, you can go to gomtv.net or you can look on Liquipedia as well. They have all of the information on the matches that are to be played. And there's a couple pretty big players that are going to be playing in the next couple weeks or so. So be on the lookout. Going for Code S coming up. Also, we have the GSTL. MVP ended up beating OGS 5-4, and Prime beating Starktail Q for Quantic 5-4. There's Nassel is not really going on this week. Nassel pretty much is waiting to go. They finished the round robin. And they're going into the bracket play. So be on the lookout for all of that information as it continues. And the IPL Team Arena has completed.
Ooh.
It is done. Another Team Arena. But as you'll see, there's another Team Arena
There's
that
another
popped up.
right behind it.
So Hosio ended up beating FXO 5-2. And they also beat OGS in the losers final 5-2 as well. In the grand finals, Hosio was able to pull out the first series over Prime. So Prime was in the winners bracket. So it reset the bracket. But Prime ended up winning Series 2, 5-2, giving them the victory. So congratulations to Prime and their IPL Team Arena victory. And the other team league that's coming up is the EG Evil Geniuses Master Cup Series. Week 1 is complete. It's going to be 12 teams. There's actually they don't really have an end date. I mean, I know they kind of play as the teams can, especially with these team leagues.
Right.
So $10,000 prize pool. So week 1, here we go. Mouse Sports over Slayers 3-2. Empire beating Cole MVP 3-1. Millennium dominates Evil Geniuses in their own tournament 3-0. Fnatic beating Alternate 4-0. Dignitas over Team Liquid 3-2. And finally, Vile 4-0s. It's Gosu. So congratulations to them as well. And also, just keep your radar going for the Iron Squid tournament, which also kicked off as well. They've only played a couple games so far, but that's actually going to be going on for a couple months. So be on the lookout for that tournament as well, as we will be doing coverage here and there. And that ends StarCraft 2 news. That was actually pretty quick compared to normal.
It's a lot of team leagues still.
I know.
It's still a lot of team leagues.
It's like the age of the team league.
Is that
Is that
code
what?
worthy?
The age of the team league?
Hashtag too many team leagues.
I don't know.
Okay, fine. No.
We don't have that much more to go to
Okay.
come up with one.
Right.
We'll come up with one.
We'll come up with
I
one.
guarantee you we can come up with one for the next
announcement,
which is fighting games.
Mm-hmm.
So, Mike, what happened with fighting games at MLG?
Well, MLG, as we know, MLG Columbus will actually be on the same weekend as the NorCal Regionals, which is actually a EVO qualifier. So it was already pretty much predicted that, okay, you're doing Mortal Kombat 9, you're doing Soul Calibur, you're doing King of Fighters. That's great for all you East Coast kids. Because everybody else on the West Coast, we have NorCal Regionals. We're going to EVO qualifier. Well,
but
MLG,
it's kind of funny,
is definitely trying to get some top players,
yes.
well, players in general, out to their event, because they actually just announced that they technically it's doubled the prize pot for the Mortal Kombat 9 tournament. So first place,
bringing it up to over $33,000.
$33,000 with first place netting you $12,000.
It's a lot
for one person
for Mortal Kombat.
That's Mortal Kombat. They also did announce, I mean, that's a big announcement in itself, but they also specifically, they've released details. All of the tournaments will be using the PlayStation 3. I know there are people out there kind of questioning about that. But then also they set up the actual schedule so you can play in every single fighting game tournament.
Indeed.
You can play in one, you can play in both. They have all the pricing breakdown if you want to do all three or only two of them. And they've allotted the schedule so that you can play in all three if you wanted to.
There you go.
And
the more you play in, the more you save too.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's like $10 off each time you do something like $5 or $10, something like that. If you have a gold membership, even less.
Yep.
So, hey,
so basically, the only thing we're waiting for is the specifics. As far as they did mention, they will be using DLC characters, but they haven't announced which are banned yet. So
we will see what's going on with that.
With that is $12,000.
Oh, that's a lot.
My dad's gonna start playing Mortal Kombat.
I'm gonna start playing Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, we're all gonna start. Everybody's gonna have a team.
I'm gonna just play it with my face.
There you go. I need to find that video.
Oh man! Wait, you have a video of me playing with my face?
I had the video of you from my LAN party last year.
Oh my god! I didn't know you got that on video.
I got it on video. I'll try and find that. Hashtag embarrass Josh, or hashtag you're doing it wrong.
Josh, I'm trying to think. Something with my face.
Yeah, face pad.
Josh, don't play with your face.
Josh, don't play with your face.
That's weird.
Yeah. I don't know if I like that one.
All right. Come up with it right now. Has to do with this. Go.
Mortal Kombat, wow.
Mortal Kombat, wow.
Mortal Kombat 9 money. Mortal Kombat. Because it's only Mortal Kombat that's getting the big boost. At least right now. We don't know.
Mortal Kombat.
Fighting Games FTW.
Fighting Games FTW for the win.
For the win.
Hashtag Fighting Games FTW. Took us long enough. Jesus Christ. Follow at BossFight TV and iHeart Esports and mention both of us in there and hashtag Fighting Games for the win. FTW. Not for the. I mean, you could probably just FTW right there. Anyways, going right along to our final fighting game little announcement, or not announcement, the IGN Pro League doing their crazy show matches at South by Southwest. I don't have words.
Hashtag train wreck. Jeez.
Oh damn it! We should have saved it.
Well, I'll go ahead and I watched it. I watched it live.
I watched some of it too.
Josh, I told everybody that I knew to watch it.
I couldn't handle it.
And, well, here's the thing. It was bad from the standard that has been set previously. So if you get like I Play Winner, if you like Level Up TV, if you like Team Spooky, this was the complete polar opposite. I had wrote an article. I have wrote an article. It's an editorial that I submitted to IGN. I actually got a reply back from Ask Joshy who said, hey, thanks for the article. We're going to take all these considerations into our next event. That being said, they did say that this was a show match. This was at South by Southwest, and this was really more of a kind of like vendor, here's eSports, this is what it looks like kind of deal.
It was not in a gaming environment.
Right.
Let's just say that.
Right.
You know, the crowd wasn't hyped because they were just, the random people who were at South by Southwest.
Yep.
So, I mean, I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt, basically.
Right.
So,
that being said, they still did ran a tournament format. They actually flew 8 of the top Street Fighter Cross Tekken players out to Texas to compete. And with that being said, we can see the top 3. Number 1, E.G. Justin Wong. Surprise, surprise.
Indeed.
Number 2, as someone, I'm not going to specifically name who, but as someone mentioned, a up-and-coming member of the fighting game community, Arturo Sanchez, a.k.a. NYC Furby,
Who's
as
that
they
guy?
kept calling him on the stream. I don't know.
I've never heard of that guy.
I've never heard of that guy.
Does he play Super Smash Brothers?
I think he's a Smash Brothers community member, yeah.
Yeah.
He streams a lot, I know that.
Plays them fighting games.
Yeah. And in third place, we have RIP. But overall, I mean...
Not to poke fun at said person.
Right. Not to poke fun at said person commenting that Arturo Sanchez is some unknown guy that's
Up and
coming. But anyway, those matches are actually up. We should look forward to more now that Street Fighter Cross Tekken is actually full release. We're done with all the cross assault shenanigans. We're done with, the show matches. Now we should get into some legitimate play as players are figuring out characters and combos
Indeed.
and whatnot. And Josh, we actually attended a Street Fighter Cross Tekken tournament the other night.
Some Ranbats out of Arcade Legacy
in Cincinnati, Ohio. And
little prequel for Power Up.
And there was an issue
there was some
during
salt.
one of the matches.
There was some salt going on.
You can link to that later if you want.
I'll probably throw it down there.
Josh has a video.
Oh, man. But anyways, so jumping out of fighting games to our very, very last piece of news. It's coming from the Dota 2 world. Dignatas is doing a Dota 2 Invitational tournament. It's the only Dota tournament going on right now because the defense has completed finally. So
say it isn't so.
That never-ending tournament.
Never-ending tournament.
Last week we talked about that. So Evil Geniuses and Next ended up powering through the brackets, not dropping a single game. None. Not one. Not a single game. Then EG here's how EG went. EG blasted through MTW, DTS, and Itsugosu, and Next beat it out Dreyer, Navi, and Dignitas. In the finals, EG took it 2-0. So congratulations to those guys. And I'm really excited to see where Dota 2 is gonna head. In the,
you know where Dota 2 is going?
Where?
LANs.
Into LANs.
Because it has LAN support.
It does. Indeed.
Just saying.
That's like a low blow to everybody.
Low blow to everybody else.
Except Counter-Strike.
I don't know if I'm assuming it's going to have LAN support.
It's Valve. Well,
I haven't seen.
I mean, if they give LAN support to Dota
right.
and they don't give it to Counter-Strike, I quit. I quit eSports. I'm saying it right now. I quit eSports.
See, what's funny is Corey Dunn's going to probably contact me after this. He's like, yeah, it has LAN support.
I know.
Because maybe some of us haven't gotten to the beta yet.
I don't. Anyways. Regardless, thank you for viewing our show. Unless do you have any?
I just want to give everybody a reminder. MLG Columbus, March 23rd, 24th, 25th. We will be there.
Come
as well
get free
as
stuff.
Some of the top players across the world. It's a great tournament.
Great experience.
Some great awesomeness to be had.
Awesomeness.
And we will be in contact. We'll be there.
Hit us up.
Let us know what's going on.
Hit us up on Twitter at BossFightTV, at BFTV _ Mohawk at Call Me Anti-Pro. So, anyways, thank you for joining us tonight. As always, I am Josh Engel, also known as Anti-Pro.
And I am Mike Bisson, a.k.a. Mohawk Mike. Thanking you for considering esports and whatever. Well,
thank you for considering
It's
esports.
been a while.
Thank you for considering.
Thank you for thank you.
Am I going to have to take this over again?
You might have to because you know what?
Yo, BossFight TV. Peace, bitches.